Ruby first met Jayden and Edward Fitzberinger one October half-term. With Dad at work each day and Mum working from home, there was absolutely nothing to do. They hadn't had a holiday that year because of something called the cost of living crisis, and Ruby was an only child. It made the house very quiet. Ruby was organised. At the start of the week, she made herself a list of things to do. Monday, do all homework. Tuesday, hoover lounge. Watch out for hamster under sofa. Wednesday, wash car. When Wednesday came, she found herself waking up at 6 a.m. This was ridiculous. She didn't have to be up that early, even on a school day. She tried to sleep, but couldn't. So she decided to start the car wash early, while it was quiet. Half an hour later, she was outside, with a bucket, a sponge, and a hose. She lived on an estate of small detached houses, with neat front gardens, and short drives where the cars were parked. The house next door had been empty for some time. Ruby had seen the for sale sign taken down, a van had come, but as yet there was no sign of their new neighbours. It was the beginning of a fine warm day, more like the summer holidays than autumn. Ruby had a quick look over their Arctic blue car. She remembered a terrible car wash when Dad had forgotten to shut the windows. Then set to work, hosing it down. She frowned as the water trickled, then stopped. Something was blocking the hose. She shook it, squeezed it, then nearly lost her balance as the water started up again. She carried on washing the car. Then the water came to a halt. What was... She looked round. A boy was standing at the end of the drive. He was about her age and was big and stocky, with darkish skin and curly dark brown hair. He had a delivery bag of newspapers slung over his left shoulder. He had planted his grubby white trainer on the hose and had a big fat smirk on his face. He moved his foot back and forth, so the water spurted out again, then trickled and stopped, then came gushing out. Without a second's thought, Ruby turned the hose on him. The boy stopped smirking. He gave a yell and tried to dodge, but not quickly enough. Ruby gave him a quick shower, from his curly hair to the tips of his football socks. "Stop! Cool it! Okay, okay." The boy put two brown hands into the air. "I surrender." Ruby went to the tap and switched the hose off. The paper boy was checking his bag. "Ah, no, my tabloids are all wet. You've smudged the sports pages." "Serves you right," Ruby told him. The boy didn't seem too annoyed. He came and wiped a finger along their car. "Nice paintwork." "Hey, leave it alone. I've got to polish that." "What are you doing up at this time?" "Couldn't sleep." "I'm Jayden." "I'm Ruby." "What paper are you?" "The Onlooker." "Oh, posh people." Jayden took a large and soggy broadsheet newspaper and slapped it against Ruby. He grinned as he saw her face. "Have a look at page 13 when you get a sec. It's interesting." "How do you know?" "I have a little nosy before I take the papers out." "I'm glad you're not our postman." Ruby paused. "What's on page 13? Jayden didn't answer. He ran a hand through his soaking hair. Then he headed for the gate. "Glad I've not got far to go. Just our street to do now." "Well, next time you—" Ruby stopped. "What do you mean, our street?" Jayden grinned. "Didn't anyone tell you? We've just moved in next door." With that, he marched out of the gate. Ruby was left with a dripping hose and a bundle of wet newspaper sticking to her. Ruby put the paper on the ground, hoping the October sun was warm enough to dry it out. Then she finished washing and waxing the car. She caught sight of her own reflection in the windscreen, blue-eyed and blonde, and annoyed. That was all she needed. A boy like that living next door. He looked as if he had a diploma in winding you up. When Mum and Dad got up, they admired what she'd done, and Dad even slipped her a fiver. He was less pleased at breakfast when he saw the paper. Was it raining earlier? Ruby said nothing. It was only after breakfast, when Dad had gone to work, that she remembered what Jayden had said about page 13. She took up the paper again and flicked through. The Onlooker was indeed a posh paper, and had very posh adverts on its centre pages. Housekeeper required. Private tutor. Domestic cook. Here it was, page 13. The advert was in huge black letters and filled the whole page. Ruby stared. Would you like to adopt a ghost? Young spirit, born 1887, seeks kind home to haunt. Gentleman by birth, good company, gets on well with other children, jokes and shocks a speciality. If interested, place outside your home 3 twigs, in the shape of an arrow, pointing to your front door.